Lots of cool stuff to watch today. Let's just start talking about this matchup that we're going to see first here. Fnatic, obviously the one that everyone's cheering for to win here. Everyone expects them to win, but Synergy has been making a few splashes of their own.
Yeah, there's definitely been some good aggression from Synergy, but it's not only the aggression that we've actually seen from them, which you kind of expect from that roster.
Yeah.
We've even seen some, more laid-back, chilled compositions, which has shown that they do have a lot of versatility to them as well.
Yeah, they're experimenting. Well, let's see what they think about the matchup coming up for them.
I don't really know Team Synergy that well, but I know they have some strong players that have been in the scene for a long time. But I think we have the stronger team than them.
Я думаю, что Fnatic — это сильнейшая команда Европы. Это было заметно по результатам, которые были за последний год. Это топ-2 мира. Они имеют молодых, талантливых игроков. И я думаю, что если они не расслабятся, будут продолжать работать, так как они работали до этого, то у них снова большие шансы не только выиграть европейский, эту лигу HGC, но также и поиграть близко. Я думаю, что они очень сильная команда и будут доставлять очень много проблем.
Alright, so how do you feel about your matchup against Synergy?
I don't know anything about them.
Fnatic. Это лучшая команда европейской сцены на данный момент и уже на протяжении долгого времени. Ребята очень молодые, но при этом показывают очень хорошие результаты и играют действительно уверенно и сильно. Выделить, наверное, тут можно всех. Мне нравится полная команда, то есть вот как они есть. И когда Ваби к ним добавился, они, наверное, только сильнее стали, по моему мнению. Поэтому Фнатики, безусловно, я бы ставил их в топ-1. И вот так.
Going up against Synergy, formerly known as Russian Circus.
I don't know about them.
It would appear Fnatic doesn't know much about Synergy.
Yeah.
Which, to flip it on its head here, could be a good thing for Synergy. Granted, this was done a couple weeks ago, so we have seen some games from Synergy. Obviously, Fnatic has had the time to look at their play.
Yeah.
But the thing about Synergy is they do have the ability to turn things up in the early end of the mid-game.
I just kind of want to go to this interview and say I think it paints a very good picture and the comparison between the two teams.
Yeah.
You've got Fnatic, who are basically now the worldwide superstars of Heroes of the Storm after taking that second place at BlizzCon. Then you've got Team Synergy, previously Russian Circus, who even those guys don't know that much about. Yes, I mean, we saw at the very beginning of the interview, they know that a few of them have been around for a long time. We had some X-Virtus Pro guys in there or whatever, but these guys coming together on Team Synergy as a whole, they're the only team that actually isn't sponsored, properly sponsored by a full organization in the HGC Europe at the moment. So they've got to step. It's a true David and Goliath for me.
Yeah, it truly is. We'll see if Synergy can use the unknown here against Fnatic, but first we need to find out the battleground that we are going to. And I think when thinking about battlegrounds, Synergy's best bet here is to take them to smaller maps if they get the opportunity here. Fnatic will ban out Battle of Eternity. Great job here. Synergy's actually shown in the past that they're great on BOE. Infernal Shrines we banned out, but Tomb of the Spider Queen will be the first pick here for Fnatic. And you're saying, uh-oh, as if we exclude the one Chromie game we saw yesterday, 100% win record with Chromie.
Yes. Well, Fnatic are at least,
yeah,
for sure.
Fnatic for sure.
Again, we mentioned it in that game that we saw yesterday with Chromie. It was a very different Chromie.
Yeah.
Definitely something that in draft kind of it took us by surprise being that early on. Had to play a different style with it. Wasn't that successful. This game, I don't see how Synergy doesn't ban it second.
Well, I don't know if you have to ban it, just be ready for it. Set up the part of your draft in the very beginning to where you're set up to actually deal with the pressure that comes your way.
Maybe, but I still think that Fnatic could make it work even if Synergy had a good response to it. So it might have to be a ban.
Well, let's see if that will be the case here as we move into the draft phase for our team. Synergy will get the opportunity to have the first ban. They have shown that they want to play Tassadar and Ragnaros in the past, so they ban out ETC.
Yeah.
Solid play there for taking away Fnatic's breeze on that wonderful cow that he played so well. There's the ban for Tassadar. Now, Synergy, what do you elect to pick here?
Must be Ragnaros. Come on.
They've ran it a few times. Yeah, there it is. Their prioritized heroes in the last couple weeks has been Ragnaros, Li Ming, Tassadar, and Johanna. The rest start to fall off a little bit there. So watch out for that 4 foundation to be picked up. Fnatic moves into Malfurion and Tychus instantly. Tychus, Brightwing, Murden, and Ragnaros were heroes that we saw often from Fnatic in the last couple weeks.
Aside from the ETC, which could have been pretty much anything on the side of Synergy, but actually ETC is a great attack towards Breeze because he is so good on the hero, we could have predicted pretty much everything aside from that. Like, these are the staple picks of Europe right now, and we're going to be seeing quite a bit of them still.
This is where we start to see the strategies develop for our teams. If Synergy does think that it's going to be a Chromie composition, I would like to start seeing Wave Clear here be prioritized for them. We saw yesterday Johanna was picked up, and I feel like the more I thought about that towards the end of the night, it was such a clever pick from
Johanna?
the Playing Ducks. Yeah. The Johanna just gives you the protection that you could give Chromie if it went to the opposing team away. It gives you the Wave Clear, and it also gives you a front line.
Ooh!
Ariel Vala. So,
not afraid.
Not afraid, yes. This is a call out from Synergy. We're not afraid of your play with Chromie, because Ariel is one of the main reasons that you even go Chromie to begin with the added benefit of being tuned to the Spider Queen. So they're daring Fnatic to go for the comp that they've showed twice already here in the HGC.
Yeah, that or they just ban it. So
that's true too.
We'll find out in a moment. Here, as Fnatic looking at this, now they've got to think to themselves, well, their opponents probably aren't going to have a cleanse. So they probably look towards, I like that, get rid of the shielding on Vala. This is kind of, you know, if Tassadar's not available, then ban out Zarya. And then sometimes you can see the Medivh because of that to help out the Vala.
Yeah,
Shields.
You ban Zarya because she's also a good tool at handling the Chromie. Although Tychus can burn through her relatively well, you don't really want to mess with that too much.
And I think on this map, especially after watching HGC North America last night, everyone has that grenade noise ingrained in their mind. Thank you, Caterpillar. Oh,
there it is. The ban on Chromie.
It had to be. Absolutely had to be.
Especially with going Ariel. Just Synergy really want this here on this battleground, and she makes sense when you're not facing Asuka Chromie. You got great wave clear, you get the ability to build out your energy for the hope, all that fun stuff.
Is that our first? I think that's our, like, in Premier tournaments, that's our first ever Chromie ban in Europe, in European play.
I thought we saw one yesterday.
Did we see a
I thought
Chromie
we
ban
saw one yesterday
yesterday?
on Towers of Doom. I feel like I've seen one. Maybe it was on North America. I've been watching way too much Heroes lately. That darn game, it's so good for some reason.
Damn. No, so none in Europe yesterday.
So looking over to Fnatic, now they need to start thinking about what they would like to switch into. Normally against Ragnaros, you want to have some kind of poke. Getting that poke and being able to weaken the front lines is good for you. You also want poke against Ariel at the same time. So I'm thinking mages. Li Ming could be good. Jaina could be good here. Falstad even could be a pickup. As Fnatic has shown in the past, they've ran the Falstad Leoric composition. So things to consider here as we move into it. There is a Johanna, and there goes Sylvanas, actually.
That's power.
For Fnatic. And yes, they transition into straight power here, as they now have their wave clear and the push available with their web weavers.
Now, that's a big problem. Oftentimes, you will see, like, the big top teams, you know, have these kind of pocket picks, like the Chromie, for example, but they were still really, really good at the map anyway before that pocket pick even came to fruition. So, and Fnatic is no different. They have been super strong on this map, so I think that they can make this work. But the Gul'dan for Synergy coming in here, that is a cool pick.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was starting to think towards. I was wondering what their tank would be. I liked Murden. I liked the idea of Leoric, but Gul'dan Ariel has that crazy synergy on this battleground that they do so well. They clear waves. They get hope built up because of the damage that Gul'dan is doing. If you get poke on the opposing members too, Ariel's getting even more hope, but you're able to float between the middle and top lane relatively well, and Ragnaros can hold that bottom lane nice and solid. It'll come down to Murden for kills, but Synergy right now has built well for the battleground.
I'm wondering what Fnatic's going to go here. Tychus could either be played by Quacknix or Shrimpy, which then makes me think... I'm trying to... Do they want more frontline? Do they want something for Wooby, like a Thrall?
Personally, I prefer double support against Gul'dan.
Okay, okay.
So you can deal with this poke, but you also want hard engage at the same time. So either double support or double warrior is the one I really go for. I wouldn't mind seeing the Rhaegar picked up.
I like Thrall or Dahaka, so Thrall will be the choice.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, so we get Thrall. Oh yeah, you got to think about the bottom. I always forget about 2-man Spider Queen.
Yeah.
And that 5th pick, you always need that laner. Yep, Thrall being the choice here for our teams, and now we'll set up for the match. But looking at the draft, I actually kind of like both teams' drafts.
Yeah, I think I probably lean over towards Fnatic's a little bit more, probably based on the fact that they're really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But the Thrall towards the end made a lot of sense for me, with Whoopi being the last choice remaining. Could have gone either Dahaka or Thrall. I think if they go Dahaka, they lose a little bit of the burst damage that they need. Of course, they've got Tychus in there, but that's kind of like continual damage. Likewise, Sylvanas is continual damage. Thrall gives them a bit more punch at the front that I think can work well for them.
And it has a natural synergy of Condemn into Earthquake too. I agree with you. It all just works out really well here for Fnatic. But what do you think at home of the draft? As always, we are here listening. Hit us up on Heroes Esports with the hashtag HGC. We'll read your tweets live on air and, of course, drop them in during the game. So, yeah, I'm looking at Fnatic here. I like their comp rounded out, but also on the other side, Synergy does have really good early game control. They also have really good late game control, too, with Ragnaros being able to finish off his quest. You have Gul'dan with the Echo Corruption finishing off. You have the Wave Clear available. It's just going to come down to how well Fnatic rotates in the early game and gets those few picks to go on. But Synergy has shown that the early game can be solid, and if they can rattle Fnatic here, I can see them walking away into the mid to late game with this comp.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. For Synergy, it feels like they do need to make something happen early, but it will be difficult against that Johanna being kind of that mainstay staple at the front line, just kind of cordoning them off a little bit. So Synergy, I think I want them to find the solution to the puzzle early.
Yeah.
And if they can't, I think it might crumble.
Yeah. I'm looking at the heroes that you'd want to gank. Tychus is kind of hard to hit up. Johanna has her Iron Skin. She can condemn away. You have Sylvanas with her E already, so she can Haunting Wave away. Malfurion's the main target. Malfurion should be in the back line anyway, so it's going to be hard, but we'll see if Synergy can do it. Let's start off game number 1 here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Fnatic and Synergy facing off.
All right, first game of the day, and it is a stomping ground for this team. 2 at the left-hand side, as we will have Smexy going to be playing on the Malfurion, Breeze on the Johanna. We will have Quacknix on Sylvanas. Next up, it is Shrimpy on the Tychus, and finally, Whoopi on Thrall. It is Team Fnatic.
To the right, in the red, will be Synergy. Here they are in all their glory. Sepka will be playing the Ariel. Played a wonderful Ariel the other day. Powers of Dreams will be playing Murden. I'm going to keep an eye on him at the early game here. Neon on the Gul'dan. Sir Ice Cream on Vala. And last but not least, Hydra, the main star for this team on Ragnaros.
Yeah, he had some good games for Synergy before. Even though they lost to Team Dignitas, I think the 0-3 score that it was against them really doesn't do them justice. They had a bit more of a stronger showing than just a 0-3. But Fnatic, one of the kings of Europe right now, seems like a lot of respect coming out from Synergy for them in the interview, and no surprises. Synergy are definitely not going to sleep on this.
Yeah, gotta agree with you. Synergy's going to have an amazing start here in the early game, and that's what they do well. I'm more scared about their late game, where they seem to have a slight problem with ending games and going for the throat. They don't ever seem to want to make that call for, all right, it's time to win. And I need to see that more from Synergy. Maybe not today, maybe not against Fnatic, one of the best in Europe, but in the future, I want to see them evolving as a team and going for those last second calls. I don't care if they have a 1% core rush. I would be impressed to see that call from them.
We have a healing bow coming out from Sevcrot on the side of Team Synergy to start things off with Ariel. We don't get to see Ariel as much anymore here in the European scene, but Sevka is definitely one of them that can make it work. That's a good lockdown there on towards Power of Dream, and Heat Die and Fall. Yes, he will. That's first blood going to Fnatic, and it was a Muradin. Oh, not a good start.
Yeah, solid focus there from the team there, just burning down the Muradin, taking him out of the fight. Something to note, you were mentioning Ariel, just having the Searing Light here at level 1 is an indicator that Synergy may want to go for that level 16 talent that allows them to build that hope, reservoir of hope. So this game could be for a long one. But with it being Tomb of the Spider Queen, if you hold your lanes well and you have the wave clear with Gul'dan, you can build out that massive hero pool hope available. So watch out for Ariel as we get to that later stages of the game.
Yep. Level 7, get that cooldown reduction. It's very, very powerful. Especially when you've got things like Valor and Gul'dan on your side. When they do synergize so well with Ariel, right?
Yep, you can just build it relatively easy. One of the best ways to prevent that from building up, though, is to put constant pressure on the opposing team. And there is that tool available with Johanna, maybe get some flanks in, but Thrall will definitely have to hit those frost tools to make sure they secure those fights. The rotations continue for both teams, and although we did have that slight pickup, Fnatic only slightly ahead here in experience, Synergy keeping up with them here as we move towards level 4.
So, down towards the bottom, Wubby versus Hydra. Quite a skillful matchup here between Thrall and Ragnaros, depending on if things can hit, if Living Meteor can hit, if Wolves can hit, etc, etc. As Power of Dream taking a bit of damage and then putting some pressure on towards Breeze, but it's light pressure. It's basically a small gust of wind. Not much at all, because Johanna is indestructible.
That matchup in the bottom seems to be snowballing relatively hard for Fnatic, with Wubby just being on that Thrall, which is one of his best heroes. But as I say, that goes for the engage. He needs to back up and not get hit by the Q. He might be. Oh, is he going to do something?
Oh! Okay, I really like that.
Wow.
I think he must have tapped before, but this to save him. Does he come out and is he still poisoned? I'm not sure.
No, it should finish off in the pass because it's a duration-based cooldown. So yeah, that should be a kill or a save there from Synergy.
This is cool.
It's, to be honest, it's weird to see Molten Core be used so early, but when you think about it, you don't normally have it used for a good few levels. Around 8 to level 10, you start seeing it mixed up, so it's okay to actually spend it there. Solid use there from Synergy, heads up play. Big cooldown burn, but hey, you don't lose a life.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right in the fact that, you know, when I look at Wubby, I think of him as a Thrall, right? And he wanted
Clever tweet, by the way. SMG, take my energy.
I like it. I like it.
Clever.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue your point.
But the build that we're seeing from Thrall is very unusual compared to what we're normally seeing, and he's committing to that level 4 talent because he actually just wants to win that lane so hard there. So the fact that he does have Envenom available to him against Ragnaros gives him much more power in that solo lane early on.
Power going for the engage here. We'll jump in. Hydra gets a little bit of a poke, but Wubby will walk away effortlessly, it looks like. Blue waivers are spawning for Fnatic, so some pressure will be occurring here, and this should give Fnatic a chance to start taking a lead here in experience.
And I mean, even things like Thrall pushing Ragnaros out of lane early and making him force Molten Core that early means that Synergy had a little bit less control over the turning points, because if you feel a bit worried as a Ragnaros, you don't want to go too far and try and delay turn-ins at that bottom shrine. You use Molten Core and you can actually delay it for a little while, but that was not to be the case. Yeah, Fnatic doing well.
Yep, Fnatic keeping the pressure up, especially with the Sylvanas on hand. You want to make sure you at least grab these turrets, turn off the forts when you get the chance, and keep up your rotations. And already Fnatic puts the pressure on the middle, but with 4 people being there and Murder rotating bottom, they rotate to the top here. Wubby is next to his wave waiver, still goes in for the engage on Hydra. Hydra low on HP, but Wubby doesn't care. Keeping up with it, is forced to finally start retreating away here, and Wubby will die to power.
So, yeah, at least the gems are going to be collected here by Fnatic. Johanna is rotating on around nicely to make sure she can get those, and she's probably one of the very best at holding gems anyway. As I say, she's pretty much indestructible, very unlikely to end up dying in the hands of Fnatic, and that is going to be a lot of easy free damage onto another 4.
Yep, already in the middle lane, and a good call out there by Wubby, just realizing he wouldn't be able to escape too much. Murden having that Skullcracker would make his life very difficult for escaping away when he's pushed up that far. So a good trade-off and a great pickup by Johanna, as you were mentioning. Level 9 to level 8, Fnatic takes a massive lead here with that fort taking in the top right of the battleground. They've also been soaking the experience during that entire engagement, so they will be hitting 10 relatively soon. Now, Synergy already has 63 gems on their side, but they have yet to have the chance to turn in anything.
Yeah, been difficult. The control from Fnatic's been good. Synergy on their side with Valor. Mr. Sir Ice Cream playing the Valor. Obviously going for the level 7 Death Dealer, opposed to something like Arsenal. It became more popular after we saw MVP Black kind of popularizing it just a little bit before BlizzCon and into BlizzCon as well. The European team started picking up on it, and it's a surprising amount of extra damage from those auto attacks when you do vault forwards.
Yeah, Crowin and NA also runs that talent. It's just such a powerful pickup if you have full faith in your Volo play. And when you have an Ariel back behind you with the cooldown reduction on your heals, you getting damage out is more important than your own life at sometimes. So again, going for that talent can be great.
I love saying it, Sir Ice Cream.
It's seriously a contender for the best username in Europe.
It is. It really is. Just, I smile every time I say it.
As you should, and I'm sure as he wrote that, he thought about that. You know what? One day I'll be on the big screen, Caloris will be casting me, and he'll have a giggle.
Sir Ice Cream.
Continuing the pushes, Fnatic is here in the middle lane, and they should be able to get this fort here as Synergy has not hit level 10. They should be able to get it off of this wave, but it will be too late here with Fnatic poking down the fort. They get it with the grenade snipe from Schwimpy, and now 11-10, 3 forts down. Synergy is definitely on the back foot here, especially with Hydra maybe getting picked off here. That Welling arrow hitting for the back line. All members will focus on the Ragnaros, and he is not meant for this world.
Yeah, Crystal of Aegis almost just condemned into his death, unfortunately, at that point. It's not even going to do much. In that instance, I wouldn't even mind if Sevka just didn't use it at all on him, because he's pretty much dead there anyway. So Furious Smash was attempted, did no damage. Fnatic follow up on that kill nicely. And then from that point on, I think they have enough to turn in, so just do it.
Yep,
Just do
they
it.
sure do. And they just start dropping a few off here. Sylvanas is in the top, the rest are in the bottom. Quacknix will drop off his gems as well. And they actually are still missing 6. They grab some pressure here on the bottom left to get some mercenaries pushing in the middle lane. And for now, Fnatic holds off on their turn-in, as it looks like they would wait for another engage to occur before they want to actually go for that, as they can bait their opponents into maybe another fight.
All right, so Breeze will be looking to just kind of zone out towards the front. I'm surprised they didn't get a full turn in during all of this, but they really seemed to prioritize that hard camp and then try and get a turn in from there. So it looked as if they just really wanted some power push behind it, and slightly underestimated Synergy's responsiveness to denying that turn in.
Well, I think that it goes also to Gul'dan being able to wave clear well. Maybe if you get to a fight again before your turn in, you can stop Gul'dan from clearing so well. So Fnatic held off, but Synergy plays patiently enough to where they don't actually have to deal with that pressure coming their way.
Right. Okay, so collecting some gems here and there. And level 13 about to pop. This 13 comes at the perfect time, actually, for them to push with these web weavers. So Synergy is going to have to scuttle behind their walls here and try and hold on for the defense, but they certainly can't respond outside their walls. It's very difficult.
Yeah, sit back here into save your keeps is the main goal. Probably not start a fight. Wait till you get 13 so you can get that resilient flame. We can also have Gul'dan start spiking up in damage. Just kind of waiting it out. There's Molten Core popped up to deal with the Web Weaver here in the middle, which should free up Gul'dan to head to a different lane after he clears these minions and start clearing the other Web Weavers that will start coming his way.
Yeah, absolutely. This Molten Core, it's not really designed to just do damage towards the team. It just wants to clean up that Web Weaver. Much easier for them to get on it with the range of those abilities that he has. And now it's going to be Fnatic moving up towards the top here, looking to just bring down all the towers. I think they've resigned themselves to the fact that they're probably not going to get any damage on keeps, really.
Yeah, it's too difficult against the Gul'dan poking. Schwimpy, though, has a different decision, though, and moves straight into Commandeer Odin and start poking down the keep. Now, Quacknix is important here. He has to get those auto attacks on that keep. Power doing his best to zone him away from the area, but Breeze goes in for the engage. Actually misses out on the Blessed Shield, but doesn't seem to really matter here as the keep continues to fall underneath half health.
If they could have found a kill there, then that keep almost would have fallen down. I actually underestimated how much damage they would get done to that keep on that initial push, so it's nice to see Fnatic kind of bullied their way in there. Sylvanas is kind of the key holder for that, and she just kind of wanders on forwards, throws a dagger, and then they're going to get a full keep off this at 10 minutes 40.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And the added benefit, too, is Synergy had to put all 5 of their heroes in the top lane to deal with this, and there was pressure on the bottom right key. A turn, though, does occur. Earthquake has been popped. There is the Aegis, but here's the follow-up into the root. Ragnaros is dead as Fnatic will take him out. Power in trouble as well at the same time, and Gul'dan unavailable. Ariel Sevka here, the last remaining hero. Can he survive? No. A wolf from Wubby, and all 5 members are dead for Synergy, and 11 minutes. Fnatic goes core.
It is a slaughter, and Fnatic put on a masterclass, only allowing 1 kill over to Team Synergy here on a map that Fnatic is notoriously strong on. They will take the first game here in this best of 5 and show why they're one of the very best here in Europe.
You know, that was a bit of an ownage here from Fnatic. They really kind of showed off how strong they are, but it's refreshing to see that. Again, like, even though the last couple weeks we've been seeing our teams and understanding the depth that is here in Europe, it's still good to know that there's teams that are on the top that you can build yourself toward, right? Synergy now still have 2 more matches to learn from if they do get 3-0'd, and they can continue to learn, like, how did Fnatic just take us out that hard? Because Fnatic or not Fnatic, Synergy was doing a really good job against Dignitas,
Yeah.
staying in the game. But now they can start to learn their mistakes from being too aggressive in certain scenarios.
I think something that stands out a little bit. It's not the root of their downfall, but it's certainly something that stands out. Is that Oriel now in the European meta? It's like if you are behind, then you get very behind because Crystal Aegis is a heroic that if you're level pegging and you think that you can actually take team fights, then great. That's going to save someone. You're going to be able to heal them up and continue that team fight. But if not, if you're just getting pushed back, that Crystal Aegis is basically a coffin just waiting to be pushed down a stream. Like, there's nothing that you can really do about it.
Yeah, it's true. And the build she was going also was more late game oriented. If you go for the Q build on this battleground, you actually have a better chance of holding off those pushes. So little things to think about when it comes to Ariel. We'll be back with game number 2 between Fnatic and Synergy. This is the HGC.